Welcome back. Watching Business Morning on Channels Television. Rotimi Fakayejo, equities trader and the CEO of Enterprise Stockbrokers, joins me now to give us a sense of where the market is and how equities are shaping up in early trade. Rotimi, good morning to you. Thank you so much for joining me on the program this morning, Rotimi. Can you give us a sense of how the market is shaping up this first trading day in the month of November?
Well, I want to believe that at least the way we're starting, it looks good, although the index is 0.07% negative. It's quite expected for a new month and for the first day. And so far, we've traded a volume of 75 million units for a value of 65 million naira. And with the way it is, a lot of investors and operators are still looking at their books and trying to see how the investment position and how it has been affected by the various vagaries of issues that came up in the last 2 months. And I believe that with this going forward, the horizon is still very much hazy, but we believe that things will get better.
But taking a look at yesterday's session, which was the last official trading day for the month of October, we still saw that most of the market bellwethers have actually continued to take a hit from investors, particularly the stocks listed on the Industrial Goods Index as well as the Banking Index.
Well, I think for the way the month ended yesterday is normally we saw a slight increase in the All-Share Index on Friday, but for yesterday being the last day, so it's quite a different ballgame. But what this is telling us at this point in time is that a lot of disinterestedness is actually there in the market, a lot of apathy. Investors are not really too keen to actually take positions or to augment their positions. So because they don't even know how whether it's going to get better in the immediate, or whether they would have to wait much longer. So we didn't see the kind of movement that we usually see in past months or month end. But I think we drawing close to the end of the year, we may not really be able to say categorically how it's going to look like. But definitely, if the naira is stable against the dollar, then definitely that will spell a lot of good things to come for the market.
But then you see, looking at those numbers, you really would not blame investors. They're all taking positions and hopefully trying to stay above water. Taking a look at some of those results, most of them have come out pretty disappointing, even though they expected it to be like that. But taking a look also at what we expected in the month of November, the markets are very anxiously waiting for third quarter GDP numbers, inflation numbers, as well as the decisions that will be announced by the MPC at its final meeting. How much of this do you think will affect how sentiments will be like for this month?
Well, for sentiments definitely are being shaped because there are two distinct sectors that are actually impacted positively with the recent happening. We saw the oil and gas sector. Majority of those companies in that particular sector are making profit, except for Owando PLC. Likewise, the banking sector as well. So there is a whole lot of hope for returns in terms of dividends concerning these two sectors. And I want to believe that that definitely is going to shape investor sentiment. And that's where we have seen the price of Total PFC at about 345 naira as against what we are seeing in other sectors where the values are dropping. Likewise, for the agricultural sector, Okomu Oil and Presco Oil, I believe investors are definitely going to put their eyes on such. And the sentiment is actually reflecting in the pricing of those particular securities.
Well, thank you so much, Rotimi, for joining me on the program this morning. But just before I let you go, quickly tell us, where do you expect the market to swing to at the end of trade today?
Well, for the way it started now, we've seen it as 0.08% negative. And all things being equal, we believe that definitely the worst that can happen is for the market to close flat. But I believe it may inch up a little today.
Thank you so much, Rotimi, for joining me on the program this morning. Of course, developments within the oil and gas sector largely shaping up how investors are trading oil and gas stocks listed in the Nigerian Stock Exchange. We'll keep our eye on those numbers for you. It's the first trading day of a new month. So many things are happening across the business environment, from the markets to the polity, and we've got our eye on it for you. I'm Harriet Agbenyi. Thank you so much for sticking around with me for today's edition of the program. Have a profitable day.